In the early years of the nation of Israel, as they occupied the land, in the period called the period of the Judges, God was king over the people. But they wanted to appear like the other nations and to have their own king. God chose a king of the kind they wanted, but he was a failure. Then God chose a king after his own heart, by contrast, and this is David. And David became very great, and Ezra is explaining to us the greatness of David and how his kingdom grew. It grew because the Lord was with him, but David himself loved the Lord and honoured the Lord in everything he did, and this inspired mighty men to support David in his kingdom. Many of these mighty men joined David in the period of his rejection. So Jesus is currently rejected by this world, but the mighty men of God's eternal kingdom will be those who identify with Jesus at this present time and do great things in his name. We continue reading in 1 Chronicles chapter 12. Now these were the men who came to David at Ziklag while he was still a fugitive from Saul the son of Kish. And they were among the mighty men, helpers in the war, armed with bows, using both the right hand and the left in hurling stones and shooting arrows with the bow. They were of Benjamin, Saul's brethren. The chief was Ahijah, then Joash the son of Shemar, the Gibeathite, Jezael the Pelite, the son of Asmaveth, Berakah and Jehu the Anathite, Ishmael the Gibeonite, a mighty man among the 30, and over the 30, Jeremiah, Jahaziel, Johanan, and Jozabad the Gederathite, Eluzai, Jeremoth, Bealiah, Shemariah, and Shephatiah the Haruphite, Elkanah, Jeshiah, Azarel, Joezer, and Jashabeam the Korahites, and Joelah, Zebediah the sons of Jehoram of Gedor. Some Gadites joined David at the stronghold in the wilderness, mighty men of valour, men trained for battle, who could handle shield and spear, whose faces were like the faces of lions, and were as swift as gazelles on the mountains. Ezer the first, Obadiah the second, Eliab the third, Mishmannah the fourth, Jeremiah the fifth, Attai the sixth, Eliel the seventh, Johanan the eighth, Elzabad the ninth, Jeremiah the 10th, Machbaniah the 11th. These were from the sons of Gad, captains of the army. The least was over 100, and the greatest was over 1,000. These are the ones who crossed the Jordan in the first month, when it had overflowed all its banks, and they put to flight all those in the valleys, to the east and to the west. Then some of the sons of Benjamin and Judah came to David at the stronghold. And David went out to meet them, and answered and said to them, If you have come peaceably to me to help me, my heart will be united with you. But if you betray me to be my enemies, since there is no wrong in my hands, may the God of our fathers look and bring judgment. Then the Spirit came upon Amasai, the chief of the captains, and he said, We are yours, O David. We are on your side, O son of Jesse. Peace. Peace to you, and peace to your helpers, and your God helps you. So David received them, and made them captains of the troop. And some from Manasseh defected to David, when he was going with the Philistines to battle against Saul. But they did not help them, for the lords of the Philistines sent him away by agreement, saying, He may defect to his master Saul, and endanger our heads. When he went to Ziklag, those of Manasseh who defected to him were Adnah, Jozabad, Gediel, Michael, Jozabed, Elihu, and Zilithai, captains of the thousands who were from Manasseh. And they helped David against the bands of raiders, for they were all mighty men of valour, and they were captains in the army. For at that time they came to David day by day to help him, until it was a great army, like the army of God. Now these were the numbers of the divisions that were equipped for war, and came to David at Hebron, to turn over the kingdom of Saul to him, according to the word of the Lord, Of the sons of Judah, bearing shield and sword, 6,800 armed for war. Of the sons of Simeon, mighty men of valour fit for war, 7,100. Of the sons of Levi, 4,600. Jehoiada, the leader of the Aaronites, and with him 3,700. Zadok, a young man, a valiant warrior, and from his father's household 22 captains. Of the sons of Benjamin, relatives of Saul, 3,000. Until then the greatest part of them had remained loyal to the house of Saul. Of the sons of Ephraim, 20,800. Mighty men of valour, famous men throughout their father's house. Of the half-tribe of Manasseh, 18,000, who were designated by name to come and make David king. Of the sons of Issachar, who had understanding of the times, to know what Israel ought to do. Their chiefs were 200, and all their brethren were at their command. Of Zebulun there were 50,000 who came out to battle, expert in war, with all weapons of war, stout-hearted men who could keep ranks. Of Naphtali 1,000 captives, and with them 37,000 with shield and spear. Of the Danites, who could keep battle formation, 28,600. Of Asher, those who could go out to war, able to keep battle formation, 40,000. Of the Reubenites and the Gadites and the half-tribe of Manasseh from the other side of the Jordan, 120,000 armed for battle, with every kind of weapon of war. All these men of war, who could keep ranks, came to Hebron with a loyal heart to make David king over all Israel. And all the rest of Israel were of one mind to make David king. And they were with David 3 days, eating and drinking, for their brethren had prepared for them. Moreover, those who were near to them, from as far away as Issachar and Zebulun and Naphtali, were bringing food on donkeys and camels, on mules and oxen, provisions of flour and cakes and figs and cakes of raisins, wine and oil and oxen and sheep abundantly, for there was joy in Israel. My name's Arthur, and I thank you for joining me as we sense the unity of the nation of Israel as they declared David as their king. This unity persisted for 80 years during the time of David and of Solomon, before it fell apart. And this is the unity that will occur again when the Lord Jesus returns in power and glory and brings salvation to the kingdom of Israel. They will be ready to receive him with a loyal heart. The interesting phrase is given concerning the sons of Issachar, who had understanding of the times, to know what Israel ought to do. Their chiefs were 200. Oh, that our political leaders understood the times and would lead the people to declare Jesus is King. All of the tribes united together in making David their king. And it wasn't just the military people who did it, but they had the support of the whole community. They saw in David a hope of liberation from the Philistines, for God had blessed David and preserved him. They'd chosen to have a king, and David was obviously the king that God appointed. Even Benjamites, who had been faithful to Saul, came over, the soldiers of Judah first coming to declare David as king, but all the other nations joining them. David had had only 600 men with him, but now thousands were coming to him. It was a bit intimidating. And as they came, he said, "If you have come peaceably to me to help me, my heart will be united with you. But if to betray me to my enemies, since there is no wrong in my hands, may the God of our fathers look and bring judgment." He commits the situation to God, and the people respond, affirming, "We are on your side, David, because God helps you." And we look forward to the day when every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess that Jesus Christ is Lord, for he is the one God has appointed to be ruler and judge